Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another recording of The Seventh Guest. So we're still on this puzzle. It turns out though that puzzles are optional. At least all except for the last one. So I'm going to go ahead and save. And let's just show how this works.
Your game has been saved.
You get to a puzzle. Which that microscope puzzle here is ridiculously bad. Ridiculously bad. That is the last puzzle that you need to click on. Meanwhile, I guess I'm gonna... I assume that's the way to exit. And this isn't a fast travel back into the... area. The audio is all messed up. They're gonna make me walk one way to walk another way. So hopefully, unless the ScumVM engine doesn't work, we kind of now know why the audio is the way it is. So this book has been our hint puzzle, but it's more than just a hint puzzle. This game is infectious. If your blue blood cells are effective, they should outnumber my green viruses by the mutation in the end. Alright. So, I'm not 100% sure I actually need to do the puzzle once, but let's hop into it and then hop back out. And then we go back and we ask for another hint. Basically, it's a 3-hint system, or it's of the idea of a 3-hint system where if you just do the hint enough, it will say the puzzle is solved. Because frankly, it is not programmed.
It's another puzzle.
Well,
imagine
it's not programmed in a way to make the game fun. It's programmed in a way in which the AI is doing the exact perfect move each time, and let's see, and because of that there's like no real desire. I'm gonna have to find a better way to exit out, because every time I exit out this way it messes with the audio. Yep. Really odd that the audio messes up, but this was MIDI. This is the old MIDI style in which games worked, is that there was this entire... Basically, it was a separate chip that you were uploading audio to, and it was just playing with no real coordination with the rest of the computer. And then until you triggered a sound effect again if the MIDI crashed, which it did quite often. To replicate red blood cell, select a vacant space 1 or 2 squares away from your direction. If you jump over other cells, the cells moves but do not replicate. There also, on a Steam discussion board, is a website that is linked to that says with some adaptation you can have the website tell you what to do. If you just absolutely want to see the solution. What I'm expecting here though, because the hint system is going to let me just solve the puzzle, is I'm expecting I'm still going to see the cutscene when I get back to this area.
Another puzzle. Imagine inside a microscope.
Like, you kind of have to assume. Let's see. Is there? What is the way? You know, this is the way to leave. And I'm not sure how many people would have ever even seen that leaving animation. It very possibly is just the approaching animation reversed. Yeah, I still want to see the cutscene though. Absolutely. That's kind of all this game is puzzles and cutscenes. So I'm assuming on the third try it's just gonna say puzzle solved. It's not gonna ask, I don't believe, which generally speaking you want it to ask. Yeah, the puzzle is solved. And so the puzzle just gets solved on the third point. And still they took this puzzle out of the iOS version instead of programming it correctly. So now that we're over here, we can't click on it. Seems like I might have gotten gypped out of a cutscene by skipping. Yeah, that's no good. That is definitely no good. Let's see if maybe we can find a way to leave this area and re-enter this area and see if that makes any sense. I thought I saw the finger waving forward. The finger skeleton hand waving forward versus waving sideward is not so drastically different that as you're quickly moving you can tell the difference. Right, something's here. It looks like there's a ghost, a cutscene that's looks like it's gonna work. I don't know, like, interesting. I'm getting shown something that's ghostly blocking my route. So I either missed something and I'm gonna have to run back into this room from the outside, which is not a huge issue, or like this will be several transition scenes, I suppose, where I want to go this way and just turn and go through the fireplace, which thank goodness I found this. And then that will load us in the second floor, which I believe this door is the exact door that we need to go through. And then this door to the secret room, or the first secret room. And then forward to the altar, which I guess the altar might play a role later. There really can't be too much more story or game. Right, and we're back here. And let's just be really careful. No, it does not look like there's a way to trigger the cutscene that you almost certainly would have seen. So by skipping something, yeah, and that still is not showing correctly. So when I see something like that, is that an indicator of perhaps a cutscene that will unlock later? it's just, I guess we're gonna move on to the next puzzle. So whatever cutscene would have played after that this puzzle, yeah, I would imagine a lot of people didn't see that one. But then the cans puzzle is also incredibly difficult. You definitely can see why 20-year-old games like this would not be acceptable by modern standards. Just having you miss actual content because you had to skip a puzzle, having the puzzle hint system be very far away from the actual puzzle that you're doing, having a puzzle that is just incredibly complicated. You really cannot set a player against just the AI of even the simplest program, because unless you program it to make some mistakes, and they really just didn't do that. Making it really, really frustrating. So we got a bunch of dolls. So is this a case? Ooh, you know what? Oh, shoot. So is this a case of them? I need to go back to the other room. Them being trapped in like the souls of children being trapped into the body of ghosts of the dolls. Yeah, I guess that might be what he's doing. Alright, so down here, when there is a thing to see, I've just realized, and so I'm gonna have to go back in here. We occasionally do get that mask that tells us where we can look at the cutscenes. But like, yeah, there was a cutscene here, and we didn't. What happens, by the way, if we turn in this direction? Just a skeleton. But that would have been a lot of work to do a stop motion skeleton. This probably wasn't an animation. This was probably full motion video of a skeleton with black wires. And see, it's the same thing twice in a row. I'm surprised it let me look at it twice in a row. I'm also surprised it's the drama mask and not the chattering teeth and eye cursor, which the game is incredibly inconsistent on. Like, there's nothing else on the screen. And it's weird that sometimes you can turn left and sometimes you can turn right. You would think you could always turn around. So yeah, I'm back here for the very simple reason that I want to see if there is a mask at the lower bottom part. I'd forgotten about that being part of the system, where you could trigger cutscenes that way. If there are any cutscenes to trigger. What's that? So if this goes through the gate when I clicked on the cabinet, I'd be rather upset. I think it is. I think it's gonna have me go through the gate. Alright, well, I have no interest in taking that relatively short journey one more time to see if maybe I could trigger the cutscene. If anything, you know what I would do is I'd just see if I could take apart the file and see if the movie files are in some way viewable, whether there's a program out there that would let you do that, or, you know what, why would I do that when I could just go on YouTube and type in microscope puzzle solution 7th guest and watch a couple of those videos. Almost certainly one of them will show you the cutscene after you solve it. What would it be? It's probably just a magician guy again. Alright, so what do we have to do here? There's most of the screen again is just stuff you don't interact with. There's a walk forward and there's a puzzle. Let's do the puzzle first. Simple.
Give up?
Simple slide. Nope. I guess flip puzzle. Well, the way this is flipping, it seems like it's magical. Okay. Seems like what you do is you click on these buttons on the end, and I assume what this is doing is trying to set everything in the right direction. Although these things do seem to just not be accurate. It feels like they might be triangles or something. Okay. Let's see if I can get this bottom row to make sense before we go any further. Okay. That doesn't look too bad. Actually, it's actually terrible. The top of the puzzle, or the middle of the puzzle, I guess. Oh, well, this is just going to take a while. Again, not a puzzle that seems like it's particularly complicated as much as it is just like time consuming. A lot of just like ridiculous things. Let's see. Does this piece at the bottom in the center move upward? Not really. And it's not a... I don't think anybody would ever try to do a super complicated puzzle where the pieces you don't see are in a pool, so that you had to flip all the pieces in such a way that they were yeah, I don't even know how you say this or explain that. Yeah, this just feels like random button pressing. With very little actual actual control happening. See, this should be over here. Moving this up. Let's move that this way. Moving this down. Maybe this is a case of the right pieces are getting placed in a very sneaky fashion. So let's see if we can get this top row to be in the right order. Maybe there's a trick here where the bottom piece replaces the top piece. Actually, that was where I wanted it, so I'm going to actually set that back. Although, I think the third sky is going to still be a problem. This entire row is in the right place, in the right order. So how do I move it down? Down. And then right. And then down. And then right. Let's see, then this is wrong, so let's move that one back up and see if that corrects that. Yes. And then down. Okay. So I've got the entire bottom row correct. For whatever that's worth. I've got 2 out of 3 suns correct. Okay, so this one should go this way. And move this one upward, I guess. And we'll just keep moving this one upward. Let's move this one right. While we're adjusting things this way. Move this one upward. And then move this one right. Like, I have no clue. No clue how the mechanisms of this are really supposed to be. But kind of seems like it might be working. So let's keep on trying. Well, I guess what the problem is, I'm going up and then right, and then up and then right, and that's either making a really long chain in which the wrong pieces are getting put in the wrong places, or see. Okay. So now, ups and downs. So I'm just gonna click up and hope everything ends up in the right place. How am I supposed to change that? Man, come on, game. Come on, game. There's no hints here at all. I've got everything except for one piece in the right place. And unless this game just will cycle randomly through images, and that's all this is doing. Yeah, that went the entire circle. So, one, and then one, I guess, and then one, I think maybe I just need to do a swap here. Two, maybe, and then swap back this way, and maybe now we can do this, and just cycle through here. These puzzles are getting more complicated. Alright, so now these two are wrong. And how am I supposed to fix that? Do I say flip all of these wrong, I guess, and flip all of these wrong, I guess? And then let's flip all of these right, and then flip all of these right. Hey, wait a minute, that seems like that works. So now we're just down with this being wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna flip all of these wrong, and flip all of these wrong, and then do this. Is there more to this? Or is there less than this? Because it's not a binary. It definitely isn't. But maybe I can just loop through this. Seems like I just have kind of a random assortment. Seems like they cycle. See, that's not quite right. these two are still wrong. One. And then something over here, maybe? And then we send this back this way. That's still wrong. That's right. But I keep going in circles. I really keep going in circles. Seems like what I maybe need to do is put the wrong one in the center. Let me just look at the solution on the walkthrough, because more and more this game is just irritating me, and I don't have enough interest in playing the game if it's not going to bother to explain itself and tell me what I'm supposed to do. And I'm not getting any voice hints, and I don't think the game has crashed and it's just not doing voice hints anymore. Or, like, yeah. The aim of the puzzle is to recreate the original picture by flipping over the individual pieces. Click on the buttons on the sides of the frame, flip on either row or column to move it forwards or backwards. Solution: start off by flipping the columns until the center of the picture is correct, then flip the top row until it's correct, then do the same to the bottom row. You now get an odd square on any row. If you get an odd square on any of the rows, the puzzle is unsolvable and you will have to start it again. Start by flipping the columns until the center row of the picture is correct. Okay. Then flip the top row until it's correct. You then get the, like, so apparently if I'm just to take what they say as the truth, you just can't solve this? Or the walkthrough maker just doesn't know what they're talking about. Which I would bet that that's straight up just a coin flip about whether or not I trust the walkthrough maker on some website versus whether I trust the creators of this game. See, it seems like if I clicked it one more, that would be the solution, but it's not working. That one just did not flip. Look at that. As it was going, this piece should have been this piece. I click here, it turns into a different piece. So, unless it's a case of 1, 2, move down 1 here, and then 1, 2. See, what I'm thinking might be the case here is that the puzzles have some duplicate pieces that makes it close to impossible to find the solution. No. Doesn't seem like that's the case. So, is there any way to get the right piece in the lower right hand corner? I know we're running late here at the end of this recording. Because maybe I just have to change the 2 other pieces the other, two other columns. We need the third. Yeah. So maybe what this comes down to is something like this, where you have to just cycle and find the right cycle that would fix everything. But maybe also it is just worth giving up on too. Like, it may very well be the case that this is just not worth the challenge. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll play with this more off screen and reset the puzzle, and hopefully I won't solve the whole thing, because now we've run into two puzzles in this game that have proven to be frustratingly hard, and frankly it's probably not two puzzles. It's probably close to 5 out of what they're claiming is what the walkthrough says. There's like 22 of them. Just really difficult puzzles, bad hint system, just a not good implementation of gameplay in general. And yeah, I really am willing to believe that this is a case of the game giving me an unsolvable puzzle. Like, it just took me right back to, it seems almost like a bug. Alright, well, that's gonna be it for this recording. I'll play this a little off screen and hopefully get the solution. If not, we'll go skip through it and miss another cutscene. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, I'm asking people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.